Hola, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you're here. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe below and activate the bell so you don't miss any of my new videos. So you guys have maybe already seen the video I did with girls and dating in America, what is like, using the questions from foreigners. So today I am super excited because I have 3 American guys here with me who are also going to be answering questions that you guys asked. So thank you guys so much for being here.
Absolutely.
Would you be able to just, this is gonna be fun, I can tell. Just introduce yourself, your name, your age, and something fun about you.
My name's Caleb and I'm 27 years old and I'm a musician.
My name is Daniel. I'm 26 years old. I am adopted.
My name is Matt. I'm 23 and I'm a coffee roaster.
Very cool. Well, you guys, we're just gonna jump right into it. So whoever wants to go first, when I ask the question, just go for it. All right. Okay. Are you guys quick to take initiative when it comes to dating, or is it a slow process for you?
I'm definitely a slow burner. I usually I'm not quick to take initiative. I like to sit back, observe a little bit, and then, have some conversations with other people. Do everything I can to avoid that initial, and then it's like, okay, I guess I should approach now. But I'm definitely a slow burner.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think for me it's pretty similar, but I would say I'm more introspective and more like not with anything in my life, but especially like dating or relationships or anything like that. I'm very, very slow to react and like want to process things. And sometimes that can get the better of me as far as like some people may say I'm too slow or overthink too much, but I think for the most part I'm just pretty slow to react and like let things happen kind of naturally and not take a ton of initiative initially.
I think I'm the same exact way. I've had moments where I've done the opposite, where I've been like really quick and it didn't necessarily turn out the best. So I was trying to do something different just to see what would happen. And I found that just for me personally, it works great if I do take my time. Like I like to include important people in my life into the whole discussion or the idea of like dating somebody, because there's a lot of people that know me sometimes better than I might know myself. And so to bring them into that as well, again, like Matt was saying, like some people may be thinking that I'm overthinking it, but I like to take it slower personally.
Okay. All right. What is your favorite meeting place for a first date?
Okay, so I'll go with this one. For me, I think it depends on the individual. For me, if it's somebody that I don't really know, I would say a good first date for me would just to have a discussion or conversation just through having coffee at a cafe somewhere. But if it was like somebody that I knew, like a really close friend, because this has happened before, like we went on a really nice picnic to a place that I really enjoyed, like being by myself, but to bring somebody else into that moment of like a special place that was special to me.
I can go. I think I would say like super similar, and especially if it's someone that I do know and like we have a prior friendship and we've been friends for a while. Like on a first date, like it doesn't have to be this like crazy like huge dinner thing. Like let's go do something fun, like let's go, I don't know, like super random, but like let's go to the aquarium or something, like something fun, I don't know. Or like go like Six Flags, go on some roller coasters or something, like something crazy or fun or whatever, like relaxed.
Yeah, I think for me, it, like Caleb said, it depends on the person. If it's somebody that I know already, then I like to cook. So, and I want to show that off a little bit. So I'm fine with inviting them to my house. Hey, I'll cook, dinner or whatever. If it's someone that I don't know, anywhere outside. So it could be, a walk or somewhere in the park at a bench or something. But I just like outside meeting places. So yeah, I think that those would be the two different ones for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the best app for dating?
Okay.
If
so
you have one.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Actually, I was very reluctant to do app dating for a really long time. And it actually within just the past year, I've actually started like stepping out in that area and like putting myself out there because that's something that people always say, you don't put yourself out there. So for me, I was like, okay, well, why not do it? So I have been on two. One is called Hinge, and the whole premise of this app is you have like your little profile, and somebody can either like respond to one of your posts that are on it, or they can like heart a picture of you, and it notifies you, and then you have the option to respond back. And so the whole idea is like they want you to delete the app after you've like found your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, you know? And so the other one I'm on is actually called FTH, and I don't know what it stands for, but it's actually like for people who have spiritual lives. And so it will ask you like, what is your spirituality? Like, what is, if you go to like a Protestant Christian church, like what denomination are you? And so it will like put that all on your profile. So it's basing it off of like your spiritual life. And the most success I feel like I've had out of one is probably Hinge. Just more meaningful conversations actually than the other. Because I don't know why, but it's just how it's been for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't answer this question.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, LinkedIn.
Does that ever work?
Yeah. AKA, I don't use dating, which is probably why I'm still single.
Right.
I don't really have anything against them, honestly. I mean,
Sure.
our friends.
Yeah.
But, like,
I mean, we've had friends get married
Yeah.
by meeting on like Bumble or just different apps like that. So, I mean, I've seen it work. I've seen successful relationships come out of them. So, yeah.
Okay, what is your ideal age to get married?
Ideal age. That's a tough one. That's a tough one because I'm thinking about me, my age, and then a lot of my friends and close friends.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I have friends who are younger than me. I'm 23. I have friends who are younger than me and who are married. I have friends who are 28, 29 and just got married, you know, like all across that whole spectrum. I mean, I think it's tough to say like a specific age where I'm like, I know I want to get married at this age. You know, it's kind of more like, first and foremost for me, I'm like, you know, God, where do you want me in like right now where I'm at, and like just trusting him with that stuff. I mean, whatever that looks like, with wherever I'm at in different times in my life. It's tough. I don't know if there's a specific age where I'm like,
no, I feel the same way.
There definitely is like a social, in America, I think.
Yes.
There's a social pressure to be married at a certain age. You
know,
know,
I think so.
What would you say the social pressure age is?
22 to 25.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like early to mid 20s.
Yeah,
if
like,
you're like north of 25, 26, it's like,
yeah.
What's the problem?
What are you
why
waiting
you
for?
married?
Yeah. It's so real. I mean, like, my older brother got married when he was 18, and he's been married, and he's 33 now, you know? So it's like he's been married for so long. And he was ready at that age. Like, my parents thought they were both, you know, ready to get married. And then for me, it's like, I'm over here, 27, and I'm single. And, you know, you have the pressures of even from family, not necessarily from my parents, but like your grandparents or like extended family who are like, why aren't you married yet? You know, and they don't mean it in a negative way, but they just know that that's how it's always been for them and their age group and stuff like that. So I definitely think that in America, there is this somewhat pressure to get married in your 20s. And if you're not, then it's like everything is over. Like life is over. Like you're going to be single forever. And those are like some social pressures that you do struggle with and you do feel. So,
I do want to bring some clarity. I think Christians in America, there's a different age expectation than just Americans. I think Christians 100%. In America and the church, there's this expectation is like, you know, right after college till like 25, so 22, 25. But just in America, I would say like the norm, you know, age to get married, maybe 28 to 32 range. So I think there's definitely a difference. Yeah, for sure.
What is the best way to meet somebody?
We ain't met nobody.
Right, when you asking the wrong people.
I don't know if we can answer this one because we're all still single.
Right. For me and my age, I feel like a really good way to meet people is through a dating app or hang out with all the single people. Like that's just how it is for me in life right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, the best way to meet someone, I don't know. I mean, I think it's tough because I do go like my job, but I do go to a lot of cafes and just like talking to people, even people that come into our cafe. I mean, that's the main way that I meet people in general, but like meeting, I mean, the best way for me, like I can speak to is meeting someone in a cafe because you have so many different kinds of people that walk in and come in and stuff. So yeah.
I would say the church.
Yeah.
It's still a good place, especially obviously being someone who is a believer. You either can connect directly, with someone else, or it could be someone that a pastor or someone you serve with or something like that, who knows someone else who's single, and you can get connected that way. But I think the church is still a good and safe place for singles to meet, and it kind of takes away the idea or the question of, is this person like morally compatible with my standards and my morals. I mean, those questions still have to be asked, but the playing field is a little bit more in alignment.
Which goes into our next question. What do you look for in a girl?
That's a good question.
Great question.
Who wants to take that one?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, first and foremost, a believer, in Jesus, and I think that's just the number one, like, questions asked. I think as far as like, for me, like, I'm not someone who has a ton of like, she has to look this specific way and have this specific color of eyes and like wear these specific clothes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that kind of person. Yeah. But I think as far as like I think she has to be very clear in communication. There has to be a certain level of maturity, not just spiritually, like obviously spiritually first, but intellectual and like, emotional maturity, like those kinds of things that I look for. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the type of guy who has a ton of like specifics. I feel like guys in general are very not super specific.
Yeah,
I feel like
I agree.
Girls have a ton more of like
their list
or
something,
like,
the ideal guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, but for us, or for me, like I don't have a ton of those. There's just like a few like really good things that I look for.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I think it would go with Matt. I mean, as someone who follows Jesus, like that's like the biggest and most important thing for me, because I want to be on the same like level of like beliefs to begin with, which I do believe is why it's such like it is an easier thing to meet somebody in a church, because you have that level playing field of like same beliefs. But for me, I think I'm like Matt, like there's not like a lot, like you don't have to look like a specific certain way. Like I don't care what race you are, I don't care, like what your eye color, your hair looks like, like that's not really like super important to me. And so I think it really does come down to like your maturity, your beliefs, like the way you live your life. I think one thing that's I love is like seeing somebody who's super independent, like who isn't afraid to follow their dreams or their passions, because I want to be able to support somebody in what they believe in and what they want to see happen with their own life. And so I think that's actually something that I really do look for is this person easy to be independent and following their heart and what they want to see happen in life.
I can echo both what they said in first loving Jesus, and also being independent. That's for me one of the biggest. I don't want to say it's a non-negotiable, but it's close. That's really attractive to me. When a girl has her her goals and what she wants to do and knows her purpose and things like that, and is motivated to make those things happen. Also, this is more personality, one. But let's just say that, we go to an engagement party, and it's one of my friends who got engaged, and she's, coming along with me. I would like for whoever I'm with to be able to go into a room, doesn't have to be super extroverted, but knows how to make conversation without me standing with her. So that plays into her independence as well. But isn't someone who's just going to sit there and wait to be approached or something like that. So that one is a little bit more picky, but I think that's like, I know how I am, because I most likely will leave her and go talk to the masses. So I think her being able to navigate conversation in some way, it could be a one-on-one conversation, but be independent enough to start that herself, I think would be beneficial for me.
Okay.
Thanks.